Oh, am I gonna win? Have you seen the look? Have you heard the voice? Girls, she really is that girl. Girls, have you heard the voice?
And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host DJ, and once the United Kingdom tried to unite in my ass, along with my co-host,
Paul, your negative STD test, but your positive Crohn's disease test. As usual.
Ew.
Which would you rather have, though? STDs or the Crohn's disease?
I think STDs, I think those are a little easier to get rid of than Crohn's.
Probably, yeah.
And do you know what Crohn's does to you?
Yeah, it just, makes your stomach awful.
The fucking time.
Which I already deal with, so there'd be literally no change. Because one thing about me...
I'm pretty sure it's, debilitating pain.
Yeah, see, that part doesn't sound awful. Now, right off the bat, I'm curious about this little rose pin. What inspired...
It is actually a poppy. It's called a remembrance poppy.
And who are you remembering?
You wear it around Veterans Day to remember the veterans who died for our country and for democracy and for freedom. And I think that's something that we have to remember, is that true patriots fought for freedom and not for whatever Taco McYam-Tits is trying to do from the Oval Office right now. And also, my mother was a veteran. And so, and she's no longer with us, as we know from countless conversations of the podcast. But this is just a special time of year when it's nice to acknowledge the people who do try to fight for our country for the right reasons.
Well, damn, you really brought that shit down. I thought there was going to be some fun story. I thought I was going to be able to make a joke. But damn, we can't joke about that. I love the veterans. Anyway, for anyone...
So, wait, I do have a joke built in there, though.
Okay.
So, after the First World War, back in England, a relative of mine erected a memorial in the garden. And it said, in remembrance of all those who died in the Great War, 1914 to 1918, lest we forget. And then when the World War ended, he thought about adding, and the Second World War, because we forgot.
That's hilarious, DJ. You should tell that again at a party sometime.
I think not. Anyways, so... I have principles. You don't. How was your week? What are your blessings and your curses?
I had a lot of principles growing up. At least 3.
And they all touched you below the Mason-Dixon line. Except for the one who did play with your Adam's apple.
Anyway, my blessing. So my blessing was I got to go to Chicago, see 2 of my best friends, Mike and Riley. Mike, as you know, was on one of our episodes.
Yeah,
had
shout
a
out.
great time there. Curse was on the way back to the airport from Chicago. See, gay people.
I was there. I witnessed this. Sorry.
As gay people, we don't miss a chance to go to the bar. So, of course, we hit the bar before we went to the airport. Yeah. And I may have had 2 or 3 beers. And the drive to the airport may have been an hour. And within that hour, my bladder quickly filled up to the point where it was about to explode. And I had to take it upon myself to piss in a wet wipes container, or I was going to piss in my best friend's car. And yet again, I embarrassed myself in a foreign place.
It's not nearly as embarrassing. I mean, I'm sure for you it feels terribly embarrassing. Mm-hmm. But like I keep telling you, it could have been a lot worse because you could have just pissed your pants.
I don't know. It was pretty humbling pulling my pants down in the back of that car and pissing in the wet wipes container.
Okay, and it was really funny because I think you were still a little tipsy because you were like narrating the entire time.
Yeah.
You were like, okay, I gotta do this. Oh my god, I gotta get whole ass naked in this back seat.
Right, the hole was on the chair.
Oh no.
But I successfully pissed in the wet wipes container. It all made it in, and then I promptly threw it out in the airport trash can. So I apologize if any of the airport workers had to deal with that and it accidentally spilled out of the trash can.
I think Chicago O'Hare has experienced a lot worse than that.
Yeah, and I am now no longer welcome back in Chicago.
Oh,
You're
darn.
welcome, Chicago. How about you, DJ?
Well, blessing. I got new glasses today.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
And by got, I mean I ordered them because I had to go for my eye exam.
Yes.
Curse. Walk into the Warby Parker, and immediately I see this guy that I thought was cute, and I messaged him on Grindr, and it wasn't like anything saucy. It was literally just like, "Hey, how are you?" And he immediately blocked me. And this was like a month, 2 months ago. Like, it was no time recent.
So it was fresh.
Yeah. And like I walked in and I was like, "Oh my God," like. And, like, he was standing with, like, 2 other employees. And I was like, "Hi, I'm DJ Powers. I'm here for my exam." And he's like, "Okay, I'll take you back." And he, like, did my whole intake. Like, he, like, was looking at my retinas and taking pictures. And I'm just like, and I'm just like, "Oh, my God. Like, I don't think either of us want to be here right now." And then he, like, passed me on to the doctor and everything's fine. And then she's like, "Are you going to get new glasses today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, let's like go out and I'll find like a sales associate to help you look at lenses." And she takes me out and she's like, and she points at him. And he had to come over and help me like look at new glasses. He's like, "Did you know what you were looking for?" And I was like, "Yeah, this style." And I was like, "Do you have them in white?" He's like, "Let me check in the back." And he went in the back. He came back and he was like, "Here you go. I have to take the next appointment back, so you can just like browse and check out with anyone." And I was like, "Thank God."
What if he came back and he was like, "I'm sorry, we don't have glasses that big. Maybe you should try JCPenney."
I would have left without paying for my appointment.
Honestly, I feel like that is a universal gay experience, though. Like, meeting someone on an app, getting blocked or going wrong, and then you have to see them out and about someplace.
And I'm like, it's one thing if you see them at like Central Outreach, because every gay person works at Central Outreach at some point.
Yes.
Or at a gay bar and they're bartending.
Yes.
But like at a unaffiliated doctor's office in the mall.
Yeah,
that was rough. That was very rough.
It's always a rough experience when that happened. Been there.
Yeah. On the downside, he looked better than his pictures.
Yeah, that's always humbling too.
On the plus side, he had a derpy sounding voice. So who really won out here? Because I think I have a pretty nice sounding voice. I say as my voice cracks.
We are podcasters, so there has to be something nice about our voice.
Yeah. Anyways, tell me what's going on in pop culture this week.
I've been worked up, okay? After this past day, I have been so pissed off at the Grammys because our boy Conan got snubbed at the Grammys this year.
He didn't get any?
Not one Grammy nomination.
What? That is ridiculous.
But that stupid little K-pop Demon Hunter movie, they got like 4 nominations for the music there. Like, bitch, Conan, Vodka Cranberry, freaking the trilogy, that album is a work of art. And I'm going to personally fight every single Grammys employee.
And here's the thing. K-pop Demon Hunters, wasn't that a group that they established just for that movie?
I'm not sure. I don't know all the lore.
Like, I don't think it's a real group. I think it's just a group they established for the movie. And I think that any band that is established for a movie, like Glee, or what was that Nicholas Gallen scene in the movie where Anne Hathaway was a cougar and he was a pop star?
Oh yeah,
Piece of You or whatever,
something like that.
Like, that wasn't a real group. That was just a made-up group. I don't think they should be eligible for a Grammy. I think the composer, whoever wrote the music, should be eligible, but not the performer. Like, if you're performing it as someone else in your role, well, then because musicals don't get to go up. Like,
well, that's because they do the Tonys.
I know. So, and I mean, movies have the Oscars. So, isn't it enough for you to get an Oscar?
I guess. But either way, I'm gonna fight the Grammys employees who have done this to us. We're fighting for Conan.
Did Beyonce get any noms?
No, because I don't think she
released an album this year. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no.
Because it's such a weird award season. It's like so weird because it's like springtime, and like you never know. Like, oh, is this like up for consideration for this last Grammys or for the next Grammys? Did Taylor Swift get any?
No, because she didn't release Life of a Showgirl in time.
Oh, okay. So next year it's gonna be real insufferable.
Yeah, it's gonna be all Taylor. Everything's Taylor. And they do the same shit to Troye Sivan. They stay like dissing these gay artists who yeah. They just for whatever reason don't like people like Troy and Conan. And we see you.
I am
and fuck you.
I'm noticing a shift in media like in this second Taco Mickey M. Tits presidency, where gay people are being gay performers, gay artists, gay media is getting pushed to the sidelines because the Taco Mickey M. Tips administration has targeted queer people as a whole as one of their like main lightning rods to incite their base.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, to not get the ire of the White House, are like studios are just like, let's kind of brush the gays under the rug again. Like,
it's very that. It does get very that. Like, Troy didn't even get nominated last year for Something to Give Each Other, except for the one song he had Charlie XCX on.
And that was probably more of a nom for Charlie then.
Exactly.
And I mean, I told you, like, as far back as January of this year, like, going into, like, the bookstores, like, I'm seeing far less queer books.
Well, that's because we're learning to read less, so that's more on us, because we don't really know how to read.
Speak for yourself. Anyways.
Yeah, no, so Grammys canceled. Hilary Duff released a new song after, like, so many years, so it was a little bit of a flop. Didn't really enjoy it. I was expecting a little bit more from our girl Hilary, but we'll see how, if she releases a whole album, we'll see if the rest is better.
Well, you know, most people who have a comeback, either the first song really sucks or it's an instant sensation. Sometimes they gotta warm up.
Yeah, I think she's gonna warm up, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, Katy Perry also released a new song this week, and it was better than Hilary's, surprisingly. One last thought about the Grammys. I really thought this was going to be Conan's year. I really am disappointed that Conan didn't get any nominations for the Grammys. And so many other people on TikTok are as well. So just really disappointing day in pop culture for me, because I really thought Wishbone was going to be his year.
Talk about bringing down the mood.
I know. Before we move on from pop culture, I am curious about this ring on your marriage finger. What is the meaning? Because I know there has to be some story behind it.
I saw it. I liked it.
Not
I bought
that
it.
One.
I wear it.
That one. On your marriage, your left finger, your ring finger.
This is my left finger. Left hand.
Oh, never mind.
This one?
Sorry, I thought that was your left,
No.
And I thought it was on the marriage finger, so I'll excuse myself and relearn the directions again, and I'll see you guys on another one.
Don't feel bad, Paul. I also don't know my right from my left because I was a theater major. And one thing you learn as a theater major is your left is not your left and your right is not your right.
I really thought I saw that ring on your marriage finger, and I was like, I know he has some sort of story about that shit being on his marriage finger.
No, I like rings, and so I just wear them.
Well, before I continue to embarrass myself, why don't we start drinking?
Yeah. This week, we're going with another one of our favorites. Going back to, I should say, this is Josh Sea Swept. It is a Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio. Crisp and refreshing, Sea Swept blends California's lightest white wine varietals, Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio, to make a bright, citrusy, and easy-to-drink white wine that brings a taste of the coast to wherever you may be.
Ooh.
Sorry, I wanted to try and get a crack in there. ASMR bar. Just relax. Listen to the wine. Your boss can't get you here in the sanctity of your home.
Sorry.
With your glass of white wine.
I will say, I do like the top of this. I like this color.
The pearlescence.
Yeah, it's a really cute bottle. I like it. It very much does remind me of the beach, which makes sense, but... Cheers! It's a dishwater wine.
I thought you liked this the last time we had it.
I don't remember having this.
We had it at some point. Because I remember talking about it.
Yeah, I don't doubt that we've had it before. I just don't remember having it. I really don't like it this time around. I'm going to give it 2 grapes.
I like it. I'm going to give it 4.
4? Oh, jeez. See, this is the wine that just tastes like dishwater for me.
I'm going to give it 4.
It's that, like, buttery Pinot Gris Chardonnay type wine that I don't fuck with anymore.
See, okay, yeah, I am getting a little butteriness.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Two grapes. We're doing 2 grapes.
Okay, that's fine.
Bring
That's
her
fine.
to the beach. Don't do it, girl. Mm-mm.
Now I wonder which is the one that we really liked. Oh my god.
Who knows? I mean, I feel like our palates have very much shifted towards red wines.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, like, not do red quite so often.
Understandable.
Yeah. Anyways, let me tell you a story.
Let's get into it.
A house of mythic proportions located in a town racked with accusations and death. A sea captain using his ill-gotten wealth to build a status symbol. A judge out for blood to steal his neighbor's land. An heiress who in a time of war finds new wealth and freedom. A writer racked with guilt and suffering. A curse uttered on the way to the gallows by an innocent accused of witchcraft. All of this sounds like a gothic novel. And while all of this inspired one of America's greatest gothic romances, it is all part of the history of the home which inspired it. Today we will cover Salem's House of the Seven Gables.
Okay, this sounds like a really good story. This sounds like, obviously, like a novel. Like, obviously.
Right.
Now, does this have any relation to that busted-ass Long Island, not Long Island, but Little House on the Prairie, busted-ass
Anne of Green Gables?
Wannabe-ass bitch?
No. No carrots here.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I refuse to see it because I don't fuck with her, okay?
I have seen clips on TikTok. The guy who plays Gilbert is kind of cute. And I hope he's of age so that I can say that.
I've never seen it, so I don't know, and I can't judge, so...
Yeah, but no, not related to Anne of Green Gables at all. No.
Okay. Well, tell me what it's related to, then.
Absolutely. So, the house is located in Salem, Massachusetts. Of course, very famous for the Salem witch trials of 1692. But the house was built in 1668 by a wealthy sea captain named John Turner.
Okay.
Turner was born in Salem in 1644 to an indentured servant from England. So indentured servitude was...
What? I know what an indentured servant is.
Maybe they don't.
Okay.
So indentured servitude was a way to get people from England who can afford the passage over. They would basically sell themselves for a term of about 7 years to someone who could afford to pay their passage. And when they got over there, they worked for them without pay for 7 years. They did get room, they did get food and board, but then after 7 years, your debt was paid and you could go set up your own homestead. And when John Turner was born, his father was still an indentured servant, so he was born into poverty. But he didn't stay in poverty for very long because once he came of age, he opened up a shop and became a hat and shoe merchant. And this is in Pilgrim times. So you've seen the Pilgrim hats and those big silver buckle shoes.
The ugly, yeah.
Yeah, the girl was diva-ing. He said fashion.
Do you think he was gay? Do you
No.
think he was one of the girls on the dolls?
I don't think he was one of the girls.
No, I do want to bring it back to the indentured servitude because that kind of sounds like what you're doing with your grandparents right now. Having to live with them for 7 years to pay off your debts to society. Not necessarily to them, but just to society.
Yeah. That and the restraining order.
Yeah. To who?
Oprah. I hit her with my car.
The incident.
If you get that reference, you're a real one. Now, after he did make a nice little sum being a hat and shoe merchant, he did get into the maritime trade industry. He bought some ships. He became a sea captain. And he set up a business selling fish to slave plantations in the Caribbean. Boo. Also, I want to know why somebody in Massachusetts had to sell fish to people in the Caribbean. In the 1600s.
Maybe they wanted the Massachusetts fish. They wanted a different
I don't know.
I think it's also interesting he went from being a seamstress to like a maritime person.
Maritime?
Maybe he heard like maritime and thought it was like a gay thing and was like, yes, mummy, we're moving on, mother. I'm going to be in the maritime industry and I'm going to be with my people. And then he got there and it was all fish.
You know it's maritime? Not maritime.
Maritime, yeah.
Okay. Were you saying maritime as a joke?
It still sounds gay.
Okay.
Maritain.
So, with his fortune, he decided that he was going to build a home for himself and his family. It started off as a 2-room, 2.5 floor house with a central chimney facing Salem Harbor.
Did you say 2.5 floor?
Yes, so like there's a ground floor and then a second floor and then there was like an attic crawl space.
I don't know. Okay, I could see how that could be considered a half because I was like...
Yeah, it wasn't like a full floor. Like you couldn't walk around up there, but like...
Okay.
Storage.
I was like, girl, how could there be half a fucking floor? That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, in this central block, it was fairly typical of like other Salem homes at the time. Low ceilings. There was the ground floor, and then there was the upper floor where everyone slept.
Okay.
And the ceilings were all very low because you wanted low ceilings because you had to heat it all. And the less area you had to heat, the less fuel you had to consume. A few years later, he added an entire kitchen wing.
I love wings. Oh my god.
Right?
I wish I could get wings today. But
no, it's not on the cards.
No.
Would you like me to consult the tarot cards they're going to say no to?
Yeah, I gotta go get pizza.
By 1676, he added another extension which included a spacious parlor and a bedroom above with another chimney. Now, chimneys were the Gucci belts of Puritan times.
Damn, it sounds like it. Sounds like he's building all the fucking chimneys.
The new wing also featured much higher ceilings than the original house, and he also added an attic space with 3 gables.
What if he was trying to attract, chimney sweeps? He was just really attracted to the chimney sweeps. He said, I'm gonna build it and I'm gonna have all the chimney sweeps.
But come, sweep my chimneys out. I have a chimney you can sweep.
Why do you keep watching all the chimney sweeps like that? Shut up, Barbara! This is the only thing I have in life.
Okay. So, do you know what a gable is?
No.
Okay. So, a gable is the roofs that are, like, really pointy. Mm-hmm. It's that really steep triangular part of the roof.
Okay.
And, I mean, you've seen, like, houses in Salem. A lot of them have those gables.
Okay.
And under those gables, he did add an attic space, like a proper attic space that you could walk around in.
Okay, period.
In 1680, John died and passed the home to his son, John Turner II. In 1692, the Salem witch trials broke out and struck fear into the heart of all the residents of Salem. All it took was like a passing accusation from a neighbor to get you sent to jail and put on trial. Nowadays, it's considered to be mostly have been driven by greed, because if you were condemned as a witch, you lost your property, and your neighbors could then buy it at rock bottom prices.
Yeah, well, it was greed and it was hysteria. And also, they did put a lot of faith into the words of children, because these children would act like they were being possessed, and they'd just pick a name.
And do you remember back to Pendle Witches? They were going off a law book which sidled the Pendle Witch case, which said that the testimony of children was paramount to trying witches, because children were the easiest to be attacked by witches, because they were trying to torture you into signing the Book of the Beast.
Exactly. It's crazy.
So, J2, as I'm referring to him in the notes, built a secret staircase inside one of the chimneys.
It's where he'd take the chimney boys.
Well, this was actually... So he built the secret staircase. That was John the First. J2 built the secret staircase leading to a little attic nook that was like separated from the rest of the house to hide his wife and sisters in case any of them were accused.
Oh.
So if they got word that they were accused, it was a hidden staircase, like it's in the chimney.
He was about to Anne Frank them, if you will.
He was going to Anne Frank them.
You know what? More power to you, sis.
But none of the Turners were touched by the witch trials, so even though the house stood at the time, no one living in the house was associated with the witch trials.
Okay, that's good. They made it out. That's good.
Oops, clicked too far. At the turn of the century, J2 redid the interior of the house in the new Georgian style, adding fine wood paneling, beautiful engraving, wallpaper. He painted the inside, and state-of-the-art sash windows.
Ooh, gay.
So gay. The sash windows are the ones kind of like you have, where there's a window at the top and a window at the bottom, and they slide up.
Okay.
So these were state of the art. Like, nobody in Salem had these. Like, oh my god, did you see John Turner has sash windows?
Oh my gosh, he can slide his windows up. It's crazy.
Can you believe it? He doesn't have to push them open anymore.
Like a peasant.
Jebediah, we need to get sash windows. I can't let Goody Turner outdo me with my windows. They already have more chimneys than us.
Look at all their chimney boys. We need more chimney sweeps.
It's bad enough that my mother was hung as a witch. Now you expect me to have out-of-date windows?
Period.
By...
The Real Housewives of Salem.
Salem, can we do this as a TikTok? I will buy us pilgrim outfits.
I'd do it. I would for sure do it.
Okay. But by this time, the home had grown from a simple 2-story home into a sprawling 17-room mansion whose roof line included 7 distinctive gables.
Okay.
Now, in the mid-1700s, J2 died, and he left the home to his son. Can you guess what his name was?
J3.
It was John III, or J3. Now, J3 did not have the industry of his papa and grandpapa. And...
Papa, you've left me with no money! Why, Papa?
Well, actually, Papa left him with plenty of money, but I think he gambled a little bit. Because he lost the family fortune and was forced to sell the mansion to creditors.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah. And this was before there were banks to repo the house. So this was Jebediah down in the street like, I get your house.
Damn.
Like, you can't pay me you owe me 2 pennies. If you can't pay me the 2 pennies, I get your mansion.
Can I at least keep the chimney sweep?
Now, the creditors sold the mansion to the Ingersoll family in 1782. The Ingersoll family was headed by Captain Samuel Ingersoll. And he decided that he was going to remove 4 of the gables to make the house into a more into the more boxy federal style, which was more fashionable for that time. This is right after the Revolution. Okay. So think of like Philadelphia, think about the really old buildings in DC, the very boxy looking.
Oh, okay, yeah, the ugly
rather
ones.
than the steep, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, he did not get to enjoy it for very long. In 1804, Samuel died and left the home to his wife. And in 1811, the wife died, and they had one child, a daughter named Susanna.
Okay.
And now this was a time when women weren't really allowed to own property. And so Susanna was 26. She was unmarried, which was good because if she was married, she wouldn't get it. Her husband would get it. But she was unmarried and she got the house and the estate. And her uncle, who I believe was Captain Hathorne, took her to court to try and say that she wasn't allowed to have the estate. And she fought in court to keep the estate and won. And she was one of the first women to win a court case to get her own property.
Pop off, sis. That's iconic. Good for you, girl.
And I put in here, hell yeah, women's rights.
Yes, we stand women's rights.
Now, just a year after she officially won the house in court, the War of 1812 broke out.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
And now remember, so this was a war between the U.S. and Great Britain, and Great Britain blockaded the entire East Coast. And remember, the mansion is right on the coastline. Like, it is facing the harbor. And from her upstairs bedroom window, she could see the British warships with their guns aimed on Salem.
Now, that's different than the Revolutionary War.
Yes.
Now, what was this after the Revolutionary?
Yes.
So why were they fighting this time? Because we already got our independence, so fuck them. What?
It was... some people call it the Second War of Independence. Officially, it broke out because the British Navy would stop American ships and kidnap the sailors and press them into the Royal Navy. But because this was only like 20, 30 years into independence, it basically was England trying to take the colonies back.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know like that's what that was about. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
So, a lot of people in Salem decided that they wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. And move inland. But moving takes a lot of money. And in a time of war, you don't always have access to all the money you need to, move and start a whole new life elsewhere. So Susanna started offering low-interest mortgages to any of her neighbors who wanted to move but didn't want to sell their homes. Or if people wanted to move, just like cut their losses, she would say, okay, how much money do you want? And she would pay them for their land. In the 2 years of the War of 1812, she bought 17 properties in Salem.
That's a businesswoman. I'm here for that. That is a businesswoman. And I love that.
In her lifetime, she bought and sold over 60 properties in the area, making her one of the wealthiest real estate tycoons in New England. Regardless, male or female, she was the only female, but she was one of the wealthiest. Like, there were probably like 2 people who had more real estate than her in New England.
That's iconic. Okay, we love a boss bitch like that. And honestly, going back to reality shows, she could be on like Selling Sunset or something, but like
Selling Salem.
Yes. That would be such a perfect show for her. What an icon.
My competition calls me a witch, but with a B instead of a W.
Period.
Now, you know they always have the taglines at the top.
Yeah.
That would be hers. So, yeah, she was a boss-ass bitch. Now, Susanna was also a second cousin of the famed American author Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Okay.
Now, most of you who are in America probably know Hawthorne from his most famous novel, The Scarlet Letter, which probably you were forced to read in high school at some point.
Yes.
Don't know why. It has nothing to do with history.
It was a good read.
It was interesting. For those of you who don't know, The Scarlet Letter is about a woman who's publicly shamed for adultery in Puritan-era Boston. Now, as a child, Hawthorne often visited his cousin at the home because he was born in Salem. And he even spent a long time there recuperating after a leg injury when he was about 8 years old.
Okay.
Because the Hawthornes weren't very well-to-do, and so, like, you lived with family a lot.
Y'all can't have... Well, we all can't be real estate tycoons like Miss
Exactly.
Ma'am, you know? I wonder how many chimney sweeps she had.
A lot. In 1846, Hawthorne took a job at the Customs House in Salem, and he began to visit his Susanna and her adopted son Horace Connolly a lot. Hawthorne was famously, like, debilitatingly shy, and so, like, he would, like, spend hours locked in the house playing card games with Susanna, Horace, and his wife Sophia, and, like, that was his entire social group. But Susanna and him were more like best friends than cousins, and they would spend hours just talking, and Susanna would regale him with stories of the house's early history and its former appearance. Now, remember, at this point, 4 of the Gables are gone, so it only has 3. But Susanna would take him to the attic and show him the places, like, because, you know, like, they just kind of cut off the Gables and, like, built over it. So she showed him a place where the 7 Gables were and told him about the Turners, about her father. And Hawthorne was just fascinated by this history, by this house, which has been there for 2 centuries in this very new country. And he was especially inspired by the term Seven Gables.
It does have a nice... It rolls off the tongue, really.
He actually wrote to a friend while he was, like, visiting Susanna a lot, quote, "The expression was new and struck me forcibly. I think I shall make something of it." Unquote. And in 1851, he published The House of the Seven Gables, which was inspired by his stays with his cousin and the story she told him in the house, and indeed the house itself, which he described as almost being a living being. Because remember, this is an old house, and old houses breathe. So, like, this is an old house when he's there. And so, like, could you imagine, like, just being in the house and the wind blowing and hearing the house go? Wouldn't that be terrifying?
It would be kind of creepy, yeah, and all the creaking and things.
So, the novel details the house, called the House of Seven Gables, built on land which was swindled by a man named Matthew Mall, who was accused of witchcraft by Colonel Pinchian during the 1692 witch trials. From the gallows, Mall curses Pinchian and his family, and his descendants later find themselves destitute and tainted by crime and scandal, and forced to turn the first floor of their home into a shop to support themselves.
Dang. That's
right?
Rough. One curse and your whole family's fucked.
Right.
Damn.
It's kind of giving practical magic.
It is giving practical magic, for sure,
Where it's like Maria Owens cast a spell so she would never fall in love again, and then it turned into a curse because she was bitter.
Yeah. But also, was it a curse, or was the family just, like, shitty people?
Well, everyone died.
Not in practical magic. I'm talking about, like...
Oh, in the story.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, like, the 2 worst Pinchians did die, and, like, the good Pinchians don't.
Imagine that. I don't know. I'd have to know more about the Pinchians. I'd have to do a little more research about this curse.
Well, maybe for Christmas I'll get you the book.
I'm not going to read it.
I'll get you the Audible. But Hawthorne wasn't the only famous American author who was inspired by visits to the home. His friend, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, was inspired by a story told him by Susanna's adopted son Horace to write his epic poem, Evangeline.
Evangeline. That's such a pretty name. I love
Isn't
that.
it? Don't ask me what Evangeline's about because it didn't relate that much to this.
Mood.
Now, Susanna did die in 1858, and Horace invited the home. And he was forced to sell it just over 20 years later in 1879. And it should be noted that the Ingersolls, like the Turners, only owned the home for 3 generations and then had to sell it under a cloud of debt and scandal.
3 generations is still a good amount of time, I feel like.
It is, but isn't it weird that, like, the first 2 owners, like, you made it 3 generations and then you had to sell, and then another 3 generations and you had to sell?
That is actually pretty interesting. And the 3 is a magical number. 3 is a very magical number, and it's my favorite number, so that's really interesting.
In 1883, musician Henry Upton and his family purchased the home, which by now was a site of pilgrimage for fans of Hawthorne and his novel. His family began to host tours of the mansion, which still boasted its fine Georgian interiors, and his daughter Ida, an artist, sold paintings she made of the house from the garden. Industry.
Yes, get that coin, you know? They're doing that whole Airbnb, rent out, turn whatever old shit you got into a museum thing, and I'm here for that.
It's kind of like Whaley House, where, like, you just kind of just wandered in.
Period. I'm here for it. I like it.
In 1908, philanthropist Caroline Amberton purchased the home with the sole purpose of turning it into a museum space, which she planned to use to support her Settlement Home Association.
Okay.
Now, settlement houses provide educational opportunities for children and adults, daycare, cooking classes, sewing classes, assistance applying for citizenship, and a variety of other activities and programs to help immigrants settle in their new homes.
Okay, well, sounds like they're doing the good work.
They are doing the good work.
Good for them. Good for them.
Throughout the next couple of decades, Caroline saved multiple First period structures from demolition around Salem and had them moved to the waterfront property of the House of Seven Gables. So, like, she was like, if they were like, oh, it's like this house has been here since the 1600s and it's up for sale, I'm going to buy it before a developer does and tears it down, and she would move it. And so she built an entire museum complex.
That's awesome. She's very much doing the good work, and I appreciate that. It's like that girl at the end of Hamilton, who married Hamilton.
Eliza,
and she did all that work in D.C. She helped establish the Washington Monument and all that shit. Like, it's very much giving that who lives, who dies, tells your story.
The orphanage. To this day, the house continues to host services to help immigrants settle into their new lives in the United States, such as English as a second language classes and classes to help them get their citizenship.
Period. Love that. Love to see it.
Now, they say that there is no house in Salem more haunted than the House of the Seven Gables.
Ooh, it's all the chimney sweeps.
It is all the chimney sweeps. Now, the House of the Seven Gables is a ghostly reminder of shipping fortunes made and then lost, blamed on the curse of the witch trials of 1692.
Ooh.
Now,
double, toil and trouble. My leaks gravy on Fridays. Ooh.
I would have respected that so much more if you made it rhyme.
Okay, well, we can't have everything, DJ.
Apparently not. I also want to talk about, well...
I'm making this shit up on the spot, okay? We're doing our best.
Now, Nathaniel Hawthorne's great-great-grandfather, John Hathorne, was one...
Has your ever leaked gravy on a Friday?
No. I think you should see a doctor.
No. I think we're just gonna let it happen, because Thanksgiving's coming up.
Is it white gravy? Or is it brown gravy? Either way, I think you should be concerned.
We know that for Thanksgiving, we only do brown gravy. And if you're having white gravy for Thanksgiving...
Is your gravy brown?
Yes.
Nathaniel Hawthorne's great-great-grandfather, John Hathorne, was one of the judges in the witch trials. His involvement in the trials are seen in Hawthorne's novel based on the home. The opening quarrel in the book between Pincian and Moll is eerily like Judge Hathorne's own with Philip English, whose wife he condemned to death to get their land.
The land, honey.
The land.
The land.
Honey, the land. But it is also said to have brought a curse on the family. Bum, bum, bum!
Oh no, not a curse. Are you gonna curse me, Daddy? Are you gonna make me your little cursey boy? Oh, am I gonna be the boy who lived?
No, you're gonna be the boy who died.
The boy who lived came to die.
Comes to die.
Girl, okay, calm down. Okay, I was close enough.
Get the meme right. If you're gonna quote the meme, get it right.
It was close enough. I'm not
Dork-sided. It is dork-sided up in here.
I'm not a fucking nerd, okay? I don't know about all that shit.
She ain't Christian! Dork-sided!
Okay, that is a funny meme, actually. Dark-sided.
Oh my god. At the time of the 1692 witch trials, the Hathorns were a prosperous and respected part of the colonial gentry. But by the time of Nathaniel's birth in 1804, just a little over 100 years later, the family had lost much of its social standing and all of its wealth. Nathaniel had to be born in his mother's parents' house, where his parents were living due to financial difficulties. And Nathaniel spent much of his early life bouncing between relatives' homes, living off of their charity.
Didn't we already talk about this?
A little bit.
Okay, I was like, hold the fuck up. I swear
I'm tying it together. I'm tying it together.
Okay.
I'm tying it together.
I was just making sure I wasn't tripping.
Unlike you, I can tie my shoelaces. I don't need the Velcro straps.
Okay, that is kind of funny because I do have trouble tying my shoelaces. I still don't know how to tie them the normal way. My mom had to teach me the cheat way.
What's the cheat way?
I'll show you later. I can't describe it, but I can't.
I'll take my shoe off and I'll let you tie it on camera.
Okay.
Give the people what they want.
Yes, okay. I'll show you how I tie shoes.
Let me get it off.
Gosh. Hashtag House of the Green Gables. Hashtag 7 Green Gables.
Okay, here.
Okay.
Untied shoe. See, it's untied.
Okay, so to tie a shoe, so first you make the X and you make it go through, and then you do that, and then you make your loops. You make your loops, and then you tie the loops together and put it through the hole, and there it is.
That's just how you tie a shoe.
No, because there's another way where you do the X, and then you do that, and then you wrap it like that, and then you go through, and then boom.
You just tied it. You just didn't double knot it, which is probably why your shoe's always untied.
My shoes are always untied.
Your shoe is always untied. Every time we hang out, at least once, I have to tell you, Paul, your shoe's untied.
Okay, it does happen a lot, but that's because tying your shoes is hard, okay? And I'm pretty, okay? I don't need to know how to tie my shoes, okay?
Okay, but when you said first you make the X and then you start making the loops, I thought you were going to say then you make bunny ears.
No, I don't know I very much struggled with the bunny ears growing up.
You just did the bunny ears.
No, you did the X and then you adjusted it.
Did you not just watch how I tied my shoe? I did it exactly like you, except I did a double knot.
I don't know.
So you do tie your shoes the normal way. Congratulations, you are normal. Now, it was due to John's involvement in the witch trials that Nathaniel changed his last name from the historic Hathorne, Hatheorne, to Hawthorne, Hawthorne. And despite his literary success, Nathaniel had his own life of suffering from ill health, debilitating shyness, and a rocky political career before dying suddenly while on vacation with his friend, former President Franklin Pierce.
Do you think they were gay?
I hope they were.
Or they were lovers?
I hope so.
He was writing them poems and shit.
I would love that. I mean, have you ever heard about James Buchanan, who was our second worst president and so far, the most likely to have been gay?
Do you think I know who the fuck James Buchanan is?
No, because he was also ugly.
Yeah, no, I barely know the pretty presidents, okay? I don't know. I've never heard of this person in my life.
Now, enough about curses, because whose family isn't cursed?
Good one! I'm such a bitch.
How about
I'm sorry. I'm such
Paul's
a bitch.
family definitely cursed. They're cursed, Paul.
Yes. I'm a plague, really.
You're all 7 of them. All 7 biblical plagues. How many plagues were there in Exodus? I don't know. We're going to go with 7.
7 sounds correct.
Yeah. It could just be because I've said 7 a million times in this episode.
Now it makes sense.
How about some ghosts?
Sure, let's get into the ghosts.
Now, in the very famous secret staircase, which is no longer a secret because Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote about it and it's now part of the tour, visitors have witnessed the spirit of a man clambering up and down the stairs. And I don't know if it's really fair to, like, describe it as clambering because apparently it's, like, teeny tiny, like the passageway.
What the fuck does clambering mean?
Like, not graceful.
Okay. Well, not graceful.
Yeah,
okay.
which, I mean, if you expected me to climb up and down a ladder in what's basically a chimney, I too would clamber.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna name my daughter Clamber, actually. And Clamber also kind of sounds like a Pokemon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
This spirit is often linked to the Underground Railroad, even though there is no proof that the House of the Seven Gables was ever a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Hey, maybe it was, though. You know, that's...
It could have been. I mean, as we learned from Lockhouse 25, not all houses or stops on the Underground Railroad were documented for posterity.
Exactly. They kept that shit a secret.
Exactly. There were also other hidden rooms that were rediscovered during the 1908 renovations, including a dining room which had been blocked off for nearly a century, but which Hawthorne had described in his novel. And this is about when all the hauntings began.
Did they discover any other rooms?
Are you talking about the sex dungeon? Because that was never blocked up.
I was talking about the chimney sweep room, where J2 would go and did all the sweeps, if you will.
That was J3 who added all the chimneys. Get it right.
So J3 would go and did all the...
No, J3 sold the house. J2 built the chimney sweep
You just
room,
said J3 had the chimney sweep!
No, J1 had the chimney sweeps.
So then J1 was diddling the chimney sweeps.
Yes, J1 was diddling the chimney sweep. J2 built the chimney sweep room to hide his sisters from the witch trial, and J3 lost it all.
J1 was like the John Wayne Gacy for chimney sweeps.
Yes, except it was legal back then because it was Puritan times, and I don't think they had an age of consent because it was whatever Pastor Jebediah, Obadiah, Wobadiah said you did.
That joke got a little too real.
I mean, I'm pretty sure in the 1600s there was no age of consent. If you were 10 years old and you had got your period early, your dad would just go, "Guess what? You're marrying Obadiah down the street."
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
I don't care if you don't want to marry Hezekiel. You're gonna.
No.
I can't afford to feed you no longer. I got 9 other kids other than you.
Yeah, and I imagine once you take up the broom, the life of the sweep, if you will, that you automatically give up all of your rights.
Yeah.
And consents.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you were looking to escape that, you'd just go be a cabin boy on a boat and get some of that good maritime.
Be the pass-around cabin boy. I know that's what you'd be doing, girl. I know you'd be begging to be on that boat. I know DJ's ass would be lined up, girl.
Wait, I got a joke here. I'm gonna pull out the bard voice. Hi, cabin boy, come here and let me scrape the barnacles off your hull. Off your keel, if you will.
And, you know, DJ's got a lot of barnacles down there.
I do not. Stop telling people I have barnacles.
You're the one who brought it up, bitch.
And not for me. I was talking about the cabin boy whose name was Josiah. Do you like how I just keep naming these characters?
Yes.
And honestly, they all sound the same.
I'm honestly not sure when that started being a joke and which characters are real and which aren't at this point.
I don't know either. And I did the research.
Okay. Well.
Okay, hidden rooms. Others report seeing a phantom little boy who plays in the attic.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to make a joke about the chimney sweeps.
It is the chimney sweep boy. Ooh.
Throughout the day, throughout the house, his little footsteps can be heard pouncing around upstairs as he giggles and laughs. You want to do that again?
I'm gonna sweep your chimney.
Woo! The bristles tickle. A psychic woman once took a tour of the house and claimed she saw the young boy playing up near the gables.
Ooh.
Ooh. Many claim this is the ghost as that of Julian, who was Nathaniel Hawthorne's son, even though Julian never lived in the house. I said it could be a psychic impression of a young Nathaniel Hawthorne who often spent time at the house visiting his cousin as a boy. And like just going back to those happy times.
That makes sense.
It's not like an intelligent spirit, it's just like a psychic impression.
Oh,
Or maybe Nathaniel Hawthorne, when he died, chose to come back like at a time when he was happy as a little boy and go to a place where he was happy.
Period. There you go. Makes sense to me. I'm buying it.
The other most spotted ghost in the house is the ghost of Susanna Ingersoll, that boss-ass bitch, who owned Salem. Work! Schuyler Sisters, who?
The boots house down, queen.
She has been spotted walking the halls of her former home and even peeking out the windows to those who enter the estate through the garden below. The haunted manor has other unexplained actions such as lights turning on and off at will, ooh, as well as water faucets actuating on their own, ooh. Museum staff and visitors have reported the feeling of an unknown entity in the house, especially in that dining room that was formerly blocked off. And visitors also claim to see shadow people and hear ominous murmuring, especially late at night. I saw Goody Nurse dancing naked with the devil at midnight.
And I'm not saying she's the problem, but also I'm not saying she's the problem. And it just kind of worries me. And
basically what I'm saying is her house has more chimneys than mine does. And if we get her hung as a witch, we can take it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I saw her out with Jebediah out at the butter churning.
But Jebediah was stepping out with me.
Right, exactly. So we gotta get this bitch killed.
My husband is nearly dead from scarlet fever, and Jebediah has the good sheep.
Oh, yes, girl. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that's all I can say when it comes to the hauntings, because despite being claimed as the most haunted house in Salem, what can I say? Paranormal tourism.
Paranormal tourism. It all comes back to that. And honestly, it is giving the most basic ghost stories. Oh, I saw a man.
Now, I will say, so on the one side, there's only 2 real ghosts that are seen. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side of that, they are seen fairly regularly. So
okay, I'll give them that.
So for what they lack in quantity, they do seem to make up in quality, because there are numerous reports of seeing the little boy and the ghost of Susanna.
Okay, I will give them that. I'll take quality over quantity anytime. If your ghosts are showing up and actually doing the thing rather than just oh, there's a lot of ghosts, but they only show up on Tuesdays. It's girl, what are we doing?
Right. So you can still visit the House of the Seven Gables in Salem today. Also on its property are several other historic Salem buildings, including the Nathaniel Hawthorne birthplace.
Okay.
Which was moved from its original spot on Union Street to the property. Really interesting. All of the structures on the property are painted that, you've seen pictures of Salem, and you know how they're painted that almost black-gray color?
Yes.
The Nathaniel Hawthorne birthplace is painted a nice, cheerful red.
Like the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if that's why.
Maybe.
However, due to climate change and rising... So, the House of the Seven Gables is the only house on the property that is on its original location. It has not been moved in nearly 400 years. However, that's getting a little dicey because due to climate change and rising sea levels, it's becoming prone to extreme damage or even destruction due to high tides or even a violent storm.
Oh, jeez.
This is a picture that was recently taken of high tide.
Oh my gosh, that bitch is basically underwater. Girl, they better start moving that shit. Because, girl, she's underwater, home. Oh, girl.
So, please visit www.7gables, that's the number 7, Gables, GABLES.org, to see how you can help contribute to preserving these very important parts of our history.
Right.
Because, like, whether you're into American history or Salem history or literary history, these are vital to our story.
Yes.
And you can also look up to see how to take a tour so that you can report back if you see Susanna or the little boy. And they offer packages so that you can, like, visit both the House of the Seven Gables, which inspired Nathaniel Hawthorne, and the place where he was born.
Period. Love that.
No.
She looks like her basement's flooded, but in the bad way.
So the basement is very damp because of the increasing sea levels, but also New England, everything's a little damp.
Makes sense.
And that's, like, part of it is, like, it's ongoing, but, like, they're not going to move it at this point because it's been there for so long. But I think I read that they're looking into, like, basically, like, rebuilding the shoreline to, like, move the coast out a little bit, because let's face it, you saw that high tide, one hurricane and that bitch is gone.
She's done, girl.
And it's all timber.
Oh yeah, that bitch
There's
is
no
done.
brick, there's no stone. She's gone.
She's driftwood.
And I forgot to mention, the House of the Seven Gables is the oldest completely wood timber framed mansion in the United States.
So be careful going upstairs, because that bitch might fall.
Yes. So, Paul, I have one last question for you, and then we can get into final thoughts.
Okay.
Smash or pass. Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. Orlando Bloom. Do you need a picture?
Yes.
Oh
I
my
will
God.
need a picture of this Bloom fellow. I know who he is. I just can't picture him.
Do you want to know why I picked him?
Why?
Because it was built by Captain John Turner, and I was like, oh, like Pirates of the Caribbean, so I started typing in Pirates of the Caribbean John Turner, and I got humbled.
Humbled in what way?
Because his name is Will.
Oh, we're smashing. We're smashing, and then we're marrying. He is a beautiful, beautiful
Fuck, marry, forget the kill.
Yeah, he is a beautiful, beautiful man. Yeah, I didn't really like those pirates movies, but yes, thank you for yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, Paul, tell me some of your thoughts about the House of Seven Gables.
It's a fun story. It's cute. It's fun. I'd see it for the ghosts.
Yeah.
Don't care much about the history. The history was actually, as far as history goes, like.
I mean, I would definitely go to see, because I kind of want to listen to. I don't think I could read it because I could barely make it through the Scarlet Letter. Because Nathaniel Hawthorne was one of those authors who writes 10 paragraphs rather than 5 words.
Verbose.
Yes. I just tried to read the introduction, and, like, it was just like, there was no dialogue. There was no fucking dialogue.
Ooh, spooky. Yeah.
But, so I kind of want to listen to it and then go see, like, the house that inspired it all. And I mean, since it is a story about, like, curses and, like, how family curses affect later generations, and the house is described as being haunted and, like, this living, breathing thing, I would love to see, like, kind of like how the actual house leaned into that.
It would be interesting, for sure.
Another thing that I learned from this episode is I'm never believing a Buzzsprout listicle when picking a topic again.
What's a listicle?
It's basically like, a listicle where it's like top 20 haunted houses in the United States, and it's like,
oh, do you mean BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
You said
Buzzsprout, which is our hosting site. Sorry, BuzzFeed listicle. Because to pick this topic, I typed in, like, most haunted houses in the world, and I found one that was like, these are the most haunted houses in the world, and this was like number 3, and I was like, oh yes, Salem, love it. And then, like, I'm trying to do research, and I could only find one other podcast that covered it.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out to the Stoned Witches Hour.
Is it like
Yeah.
Oh, girl, that's crazy.
Right?
Good for them. Okay.
It's
period.
two
Pop off,
witches
sis.
who they smoke weed and they tell ghost stories at 4:20 a.m.
Okay, iconic. I'm gonna have to check them out.
They're pretty good.
That sounds iconic.
And it's really cool because they recorded it. They were in Salem. They recorded it the night after they did the tour of the place.
Mm-hmm.
And so while they were describing it, they were like going back to like their own experiences in the house.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
No. It is an interesting story, I will say.
Yeah.
No. It is a very interesting story.
And we will do like a more in-depth story of the Salem witch trials at some point.
Yes.
But we just got back from Chicago, and so it was like kind of like, okay, like switch from vacation mode back into work mode. What's something easy I can do?
Right.
Let's do something basic.
Mood. No. Final thoughts. Susanna's a boss ass bitch.
Love
her.
Susanna.
Stan. Would love to see the ghosts there.
Yeah.
And yeah. Donate some money to save the Seven Gables or whatever.
Something.
All right. You ready to wrap this shit up, DJ?
I'm ready. Let me just put that away. Okay. Please connect with us on all of our social medias. Like, follow, subscribe wherever you're listening to. Head down to our bio below to if you'd like to connect with us and DM us with your own thoughts. Or if you have your own personal stories, please email us. Our email is also down below. Paul, where can they find you when you're at home?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
If you'd like to follow me, you can do so at The Real Deej Powers, both on Instagram and on TikTok. And until next time, folks, keep your crips tight.
And your corks loose. Bye!
That hussy Paul, he was doing the horizontal reel with Jebediah behind Old Man Livingston's haystacks. I'm going to accuse him of being a witch because Jebediah's mine.
He was churning that good butter.
Oh, I should have done churning the butter.